Night, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you again. How you keeping?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, mate. It's an 18-year trilogy, a sequel that nobody could talk about, and a character that the studio had no idea was featured in their studio's film. To say this is unusual is an understatement. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah. This is It's crazy. Glass is just crazy how we got here. I guess to the audience, any audience member, they're just gonna pay their ticket and come and see a movie. But how we got here was insane. I mean, you've mentioned a couple of things. To have a sequel to two movies from two different studios where they own the characters in this group and they own the characters in this group, and we're gonna do it together. It's really unusual situation. And then on just to add to the problems, I make these movies. I own the movies, I make them. So I'm like, hey, I'm making a movie whose rights I don't own to distribute. So I'm gonna make it, and you guys are distributing it. We all work this out and make it? It's just crazy. and then, hey, all you guys, you all want to come back and replay your characters, but we're gonna make it really small, and I won't have a trailer, and everybody's gonna be. We're just gonna make a film together. Who's up for that? And everybody said yes. It was amazing.
I love the passion from everyone involved, and particularly they take the lead from yourself. You mentioned to me before that you put your own house up to finance this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Please tell me someone bought you a sandwich on set at least. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm paying for the sandwich, so I might as well eat it.
It's original, it's character-driven, a superhero film. It's unique. How hard is that to kind of make in an environment when people are kind of used to the spectacular, the blockbusters, stuff like that?
Yeah, I was. I'm always scared, about making original tones and trying something new. But that's what's so fun about it. Is you and I have 2 hours to figure out a language together, that we have to master it. But that is how I judge a director, by their control of tone. So what I'm talking about is when you watch a movie, within 5 minutes you watch the movie, you know whether you're gonna love it or not. Why that is you're mastering the language, the nomenclature of the cinema, and its balance of humor, or do they have a stronghold on it, or is it wobbly? Is it wobbly? So you're kind of going, the humor is up and down. It's broad. It's not broad. It's they're not consistent, and so that's my job, to make the language extremely consistent, so you can master and say this is the tone of this piece.
I love the fact that you mentioned before, not to spoiler, there are clips from Unbreakable that do feature in it. Was that always the idea, even when you were shooting Unbreakable? Like, did you even imagine shots like, okay, this could be good 20 years down the line? Or was it just they just were on the cutting room floor and you just rewatched and saw this would fit for a glass?
Well, I knew the scenes that I had cut out of Unbreakable. Unbreakable was, a lot of one-ers and a lot of very specific scenes. So I was building off of that movie, and I went back and I reread the screenplay of Unbreakable before I shot and before I wrote Glass, just to see not the finished movie, but what was my original intention of Unbreakable. And there was a lot more humor, which was interesting, but it did remind me of all the stuff that I had cut out, and I was like, oh yeah, how about that? And there were 3 particular scenes that I really wanted in Glass, and 2 ended up staying in.
Yeah, I won't say too much, obviously, because people are going to love this when they find it themselves. But there's a lovely, eureka moment involving literature.
Yes.
Did you conceive that shot? Because I think you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Was that planned even that long ago? They're like, oh, this is going to be an ultimate payoff.
Yeah, I mean, some of this that we're talking about was thought of afterwards, and that one was thought of a little bit afterwards.
It was a wonderful moment. I was like, holy crap, he's done it again. I have to talk about Mary Reynolds, one of the new alter egos, is an Irish person. You've been to Dublin?
Yeah, I have, and I love it, by the way. By the way, it's so fun. We just went by a bar, and it was saying Guinness, and I was thinking about my trip to Dublin, how much I loved it.
Whereas she inspired by anyone you kind of met, or was that all James's stuff?
Well, I wrote those twins, and she was called Mary Reynolds, and I was like, well, maybe, she's really spunky, and she's really irreverent, and then her brother is really, aggressive and goes at him and says, what do you have a heart on, and really goes at him.
You met some weird people in Ireland, didn't you? I feel like I'm normal, which
I'm
is
glad
saying a lot
we're
for
here
me.
because I actually based it on you. I don't know if that's... I finally get to tell you.
I'm in the Shyamalan universe. I feel so honored. Speaking of that, you said you probably won't go back to do a sequel, and it's kind of hard to top perfection, if I'm being honest. But would you consider maybe, obviously these 3 characters, and Ellie Staple's character said it's a burgeoning disorder, kind of people are thinking they're superheroes in this contained universe. Would you be willing to maybe let some other filmmakers, with your approval, to maybe play in the little world you've created?
I mean, you never say no. I don't know, brother. I don't know. if I can think of a story that I love that I have to tell, then we'll pursue it. But there's other stories to tell and other colors to go on, and I get why people want sequels. They feel comfort, especially in a time like this in the world where our leaders are failing us, and we want comfort and to know things and remind us of better times and all that stuff. But I want to strengthen the muscles of new relationships and try new things and new formats. And Unbreakable in and of itself was hey, I was trying to do something really different and felt not accepted at the time.
Yeah. Well, I say, from a guy who was told, we can't pitch this to comic books, no one's going to come and watch it, I'm delighted you stuck to your guns because you made 3 incredible films as you've done throughout your career. I'm delighted, M. Night, and it's an absolute pleasure to meet you, Ken.
Thanks, brother. Thank you. So kind, my man. Thank you, buddy.
My bones break easily. I've had 94 breaks in my life.
But you have an extraordinary IQ.
This is not a cartoon. This is the real world.
No way.
And yet, some of us still don't die with bullets. Some of us can still bend steel. I've been waiting for the world to see that we exist. May I meet the beast? I hope for your sake that he likes you. That sounds like the bad guys teaming up. A lot of people are going to die. Don't do this. Are you ready?
What do we call you, sir?
First name, Mr. Last name, Glass.